morning. I'm a resident of Cleveland Heights, and my primary means of transportation are a bicycle. I support and urge you to support, in all your decisions, complete streets, and I would like to see the Interbelt Bridge be the first example of that. I think what we're witnessing here today is a groundswell of support. We're witnessing a real sense that our transportation investments can be about creating place for people, not just for cars to move through. Here, I'm holding in my hand more than 100 letters of support for this very idea. What I'm asking today is for all of you to sort of think about this as the right investment at the right time. This is the right body of leaders to make this happen. This can help meet the funding crisis that Director Mayer alluded to by taking pressure off of the transportation system. And I want to read this one final line from one of the letters that I received, basically urging, point blank, NOACA staff and board to require non-motorized access within ODOT's scope for the final bridge design and construction. Whether it's a matter of social or economic justice, environmental sustainability, or civic pride, the people of Cleveland deserve the very best effort of ODOT to truly serve all members of our Northeast Ohio community. So I thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, Mr. Lefkowitz. Jim Sheen.
I'll be very brief. My letter, I'm going to address specific safety concerns. My name's Jim Sheehan. I'm a league cycling instructor. I'm director of the Ohio City Bicycle Co-op. We're a nonprofit bicycle education facility about 10 years old. We're located in the flats very close to this project. We ride in this area every day. I'm now a resident of Shaker Heights. For 10 years I lived in Tremont. Several of those right at the corner of 11th and Abbey. I'm intimately familiar with this area, the roadways and how cyclists would use them. Unfortunately, my written comments were too late to be included in your packet. So since the staff, Mr. Hosick, has reviewed this, I'd like to make a few of these available to the folks here from ODOT and to the chairman and a few other local representatives so that you can have these specific concerns. I don't want to read them all to you now, but I do want to mention a couple that are very important. In our bicycle traffic skills classes, we explain to students that where most collisions between cars and bicycles occur is at intersections. Same place they occur between cars and trucks, cars and other cars. Seems pretty simple, but many cyclists, especially beginning cyclists, are especially afraid of getting run off the road by somebody who comes up behind them and just runs them off the road. Both of those situations are very difficult to deal with in the alternative that ODOT has proposed, sending cyclists, instead of over the bridge where there are no intersections and where this would be a facility specifically designed for this purpose, send cyclists over Lorraine Carnegie, West 20th Street, a very narrow neighborhood street, and then the Abbey Avenue Bridge, even with some improvements. We teach that cyclists should ride absolutely legally, to expect the same respect on the road that they would like to get from motorists. I would like to put to you that for cyclists to give motorists and society that respect, designing facilities that ignore their needs is disrespectful. There are three types of cyclists. Vehicular cyclists, many here today that rode today, who don't mind riding in the street. They don't have a problem with that. I can ride across Lorraine Road, make a left-hand turn onto West 20th, across 2 lanes of high-speed traffic into a left turn only lane. Doesn't bother me. My mom's here tonight and today, and she won't be doing that. There are lots of people who ride on the sidewalks on those bridges because they feel safer because of that overtaking hazard. I'll please encourage you to take a look at the specific suggestions that I have. And just point out 2 other things based on comments that we've heard about safety. One is that nobody would be using this. In researching this, I stopped at the Gateway Animal Clinic at the foot of the ramp from the current bridge and witnessed a bicyclist coming off it and spoke with the staff there who said they see, the quote was, more than a handful of pedestrians who are using that bridge now, every day. Finally, there's also been some concerns about snow removal and cleaning the lanes there. We are working with some other local organizations, the Lutheran Metro Ministries and the Earth Day Coalition, on a phytoremediation project that is building bicycle-powered agricultural equipment, and we've discussed some other things we might make. So I will just offer that if you, ODOT, build this, we will maintain it. We can build
10 seconds, Mr.
We can build a human-powered street sweeper and snow plow, and we would love to do that in a public-private partnership with the City of Cleveland, the county, or the state. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Chris Mang, I think I got that pronounced right.
Morning. Yeah, it's a tough name, Christopher Mogg. I'll begin this morning with 4 maxims of basic economics. 1, if state-subsidized sprawl created successful economies, Ohio and Northeast Ohio specifically would be enjoying a huge economic boom. That's obviously not true, because cities drive economic growth. Cities function best when they are dense. And cars and density, this being the 4th maxim, cars and density have an inverse relationship. The more we make Ohio cities hospitable to cars, the less we make them hospitable to humans. That's a hard word to say, hospitable. To humans, to new knowledge industries, and ultimately to economic growth. Now, regarding the bridge specifically, ODOT in the past has stated that using the Interbelt Bridge as a density building multimodal transportation project is too expensive, too difficult, that no other states do this, and that there is insufficient demand. This line of reasoning demonstrates that ODOT doesn't know what it's talking about. Respectfully, not the most respectful way to say it, but it's blunt. You don't know, because you haven't studied it, and you need to study it. And even though it's casual study, well, it's true. I mean, there's no way that you can come to this conclusion that this is impossible when you haven't looked at San Francisco, when you haven't looked at Charleston, when you haven't looked at DC. I mean, we're not talking about left coast crazy cities here. We're not talking about Portland. You know, we're talking about regular cities making decisions that make the most sense for their economies. You know, this isn't about, for my purposes, this isn't really about respect or please be nice, you know, and we're not begging. We're saying this is a major important aspect of Cleveland and Ohio's economic revitalization. So the good news is that ignorance can be cured, and the way to do that is to do a study. Instead of brushing this off and saying, oh, we can't really do it, we don't really know what we're talking about, but we don't think it can be done, study it. And study it openly and honestly. And I think you'll come to the same conclusion that we have, that this makes the best economic sense, not just for cyclists, but for Ohio's economy. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mo.